Everyone for joining. I'm assuming everyone attended the product recommendations webinar that Manav and Michael hosted last week. If not, I dropped it in the chat, so feel free to re-reference that whenever you'd like. This session will just act as an extension where you are welcome to ask questions and really engage with Michael and Manav to dive into deeper aspects of Adobe Commerce product recommendations. So feel free to type your questions in the chat, or even feel free to come off mute. We want this to be as open of a dialogue and discussion as you'd like it to be. So thank you so much for joining, and I'll hand it off to Michael and Manav.
Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you, Gabby. So we can start with the introduction. We can go over to the slides and tell more about how we started. So this is basically about me. So I help in the bridging the gaps between the technical capabilities and the actual business growth for the enterprise customer. So I spend my days in designing system that don't just work smoothly in the background, but actually drive the revenue and improve the customer conversations. Apart from that, I'm doing few of the community activities as a Adobe Commerce user group, APAC user group leaders, and fortunately, I'm being the president of Adobe Commerce Champions Forum 2025-26, and with that, I am speaking at multiple and sharing my knowledge at multiple public and private engagements. So that's about me.
Thanks, Manav. And so I'm a practitioner on the business side. Been working in e-commerce for oh man, a really long time, over 20 years now. It seems kind of crazy to say, but I got my start selling musical equipment on eBay. That's kind of where I learned how to write product copy and product imagery and all of that stuff. Actually ended up founding a local food distribution company here in Atlanta when Farm to Table was taking off. And that is when I built my first Adobe Commerce Magento site back on 1.8 in 2014, and built that site from the ground up, including the entire product catalog, product schema, 2,000 different SKUs, all the product imagery, everything associated with that, as well as like category structure, navigation, the whole thing. So I was able to kind of jump in feet first into the e-commerce world, and have been doing it ever since. I've done some time in again, food distribution, consumer packaged goods, and now working in manufacturing, home furnishing space. But yeah, thank you for Danielle and Gabby for hosting and having us. Really enjoyed the webinar last week, and hopefully we can work to provide you guys some more context and some real world examples today.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great introduction, Michael. You share a long journey, and from where you started and where you are. So that's a really inspiring journey. So
Thank you.
yeah. So in last, in our Adobe Commerce product recommendation webinar, we started our conversations with why any e-commerce stores need an AI in that, right? So to understand that, we definitely have to look actually that how human actually are buying in 2026 and in coming years, right? So as we are taking the example of any like complex luxury product, or let's say branded rug here in our case, so customer definitely do the purchase based on the like color patterns and geometric flows and the texture of the product, right? So they don't just categorize any product if they are buying from any artisan brand. They don't categorize them based on the product attributes or the text description, right? And we know that traditionally the commerce platform only read the text metadata, right? And it is missing the core values which people want these days, customer wants these days. And there are a lot of innovations coming up to resolve these things. And from many years, we do have the product recommendations and Adobe Sensei in the picture, right? That really changed the game of about the customer experience, right? And it is really like from the technical perspective and business perspective, it is really interesting that how it reads the actual pixel pattern and share the related product which share the specific vibe with another product. As we can see in the like shared slide, so let's say a specific rug is presented to any customer, and could be possible that he might be interested in the similar kind of product, right? So Adobe Sensei bring that capability into the table and like automates the customer taste, right? And we know that customer buys item that looks good together, right? Not the items that share the same background text or meta tags or something. And we also know that how customer behavior evaluating these days, right? So we know that customer are don't not just comparing our sites or customer site with other competitor brands, right? They are comparing the experience, like the intelligence of they are comparing the algorithm, if we see in the background, with the like platforms like Netflix, Shopify and Instagram, they customer expect that platform need to know them instantly, right? What are their choices and what they like and about their dislike. If you can see that we have specifically mentioned that experience driven by personalized content. What does that mean for brands like Jaipur Living is that customer want to feel like an artisan curated custom catalog specifically for their like living room or for their uh, bedroom, right? They want to feel personalized, and we know that challenges are there to delivering the innovative solution these days, right? And for IT and for the business leader, it's a massive headache, right? Because we need to leverage a lot of tech and business capabilities to the platform, and it shouldn't be like that anytime, right? So if we compare our product with other available like competitive product, Adobe Commerce has that scalable architecture and modern feature that it resolves this bottleneck by its multi-tenant services, and it knows that what actually business needs, and it brings the hyper personalization at scale, and also optimize the SDLC at some point, right? So which resolves the both side of the issues, right? And we all know that modern shoppers have zero patience, right? In generic stores or in generic like surfing of product catalog, they definitely won't go to any navigation page and surf through 10 pages, right? They will check the recommended product or suggested product and start adding those product into their bucket, right? And to drive the revenue and increase the AOV, that's the matters to customers, right? So if I can simply say that personalization directly shorten the path to purchase, right? And before we move to the actual solution, I want to share about like how rent a landscape is actually evolving these days. If we can move to next slide.
Yeah, before you jump in on
Yeah,
that,
please.
Manav, I definitely want to say, adding to your point there, and I mentioned this briefly last week, we're definitely seeing consumers now are doing a lot more of the research, especially with the new LLM shopping experiences that are out there. People are really doing a lot more of that research before they even hit your website, and what that means is when they do hit the website, if they're coming from an LLM based search where they've basically narrowed down to your brand from everything else that's out there and decided on that product, like they're already in a high intent state to make that purchase very quickly. We definitely see there's some pretty staggering statistics that are coming out now about the increase of intent for shoppers coming from AI based search. It's like, I mean, from 50 to 75% more intent to buy right then. So if we're in a place where we're not surfacing accurate, relevant, personalized product recommendations to that shopper when they hit your site, you've got about 60 seconds before they're gone. So it's really, really key. And that's something that we're really working to try and surface those products right to the homepage or whichever landing page they're coming on to, tailored to that specific social campaign or email marketing campaign, wherever they are coming in from. We want to have the relevant recommendations right there ready to go.
Yeah, I completely agree that how customer are, behaving these days, and how the investment has been increased in generative engine optimization, and the less focus to SEO these days. And a lot of customers and brands which I work with, they are also doing the same thing. And everyone's like radically more focused on personalization and agility of their platform these days, right? And with the recent communication, what I got to learn is, if customer log in into the site and don't immediately see the relevant product, they will lose the attention, and the business lose the sale, right? So that is the behavior happening these days. Also, we are seeing from last 5 years that omni-channel experience is must needed these days, and the Adobe Sensei and Adobe product recommendation is completely aligned with that. Like whether you are searching from your mobile, or you are checking any ad in platform, or you are checking from tablet, we give the unified experience everywhere, right? So with these capabilities, we can definitely bring more ROI into the table, and I would say measurable ROI. Okay. And if we just don't think about it as Sensei and just think about the traditional store, so like, to you also know that to merchandise thousands of product with thousands of attributes, and like a lot of customers are there, it's too expensive for, like, if we do everything manually, right? If we do the merchandising manually, and if we leverage AI and machine learning, it lifts it decrease the time and lift the scale of store, right? So I can add that personalization is not a just nice to have, it's a baseline for customer these days. And yeah, we do have solution that we will discuss further for that in the product recommendation. And I'm also like learning a lot about the new innovations coming up, right, in some months, and that will add a lot of value to the Adobe Sensei existing capability. Yeah, so that's there.
I would definitely say this is table stakes at this point. This isn't, like you said, it's not a nice to have. This is a must have for any modern e-commerce shopping experience.
Yeah, definitely. So if we can move forward now, we can start with the product recommendation and just go through the slides. And so we see that I already talk about the monolithic search, right? If customer perform the catalog related operations for heavy unoptimized commerce catalog server, the filters and searching can easily take few seconds, right? So that is the basic challenge. And also the catalog cannot be served right away, or there is no read only data available from where the catalog will be served, right? So for that, we do have a catalog synchronization service available in the multi-tenant service, that is list, like the diagram is there in the next slide. I'll definitely show you. So what it does is, like Adobe Commerce synchronize the data to like multi-tenant service, and it signs the catalog data there. And from that we can get the data on the fly, the read-only product catalog data, whether it is getting used inside. It depends on our use case. In our use case, if we want to utilize in the product recommendation, we can definitely use it on the fly into our web storefronts. The good thing about product recommendation is it's also available along with the Luma. It's also available in the latest capabilities like commerce storefront and DA and EDS. So the business who are moving from like Adobe Commerce Cloud to SaaS, they can also have the same capabilities of like Adobe Commerce multi-tenant services. And in our the last session, we got one question from one of the person that whether we can use the Adobe uh, product recommendation independently. So yeah, we can definitely do that. It won't be require live search or catalog service must needed. So we can definitely use the product recommendation independently inside the store. So if you want to add live search and if you want to add catalog service, it's your choice. Definitely we would recommend our customers to do that. But it's possible if you want to partially integrate and utilize the product recommendation capability of Adobe Commerce Cloud into your existing platform. So
Yeah,
that's
but
the
that also applies to not only traditional PaaS offerings, ACO, ACCS. It also
right.
applies to other headless integrations as well. So pretty much anything that you're using, you're able to bring this in and gain the benefits.
Yeah, definitely. So we just need to get the data from GraphQL, and that we can use in any PWA studio available. Yeah. So now we can talk about the architecture of Adobe like product recommendation powered by Sensei. So here you see that there are two box. One is the blue one in the left side, and another one is the purple one in the right sides. So blue one stands for the actual store, web store or website, and the purple one stands for the AI brand of Adobe, Adobe Sensei, which is there from many years. And we see the three layers here. The one is the experience layer, which is the storefront layer. Another one I already talked about is Adobe Sensei and product recommendation services. And the third one is the backend layer, which is there inside the blue layer, right? So the synchronization start from the backend layer. We will be seeing things in the like further slides that from where someone can start if they are actually not utilizing getting the most out of their Adobe Commerce Cloud service. So from where they can start, we can definitely will be talking about that. And there are some SaaS configuration and catalog synchronization that need to be done once the data is synchronized. So implementation of AI recommendation becomes the remarkably simple. Okay, and it also, if we see in the middle of the diagram, there is a storefront event. One text is written, so it us understand the intent of customer and update the catalog sync data at a real time so that the product get the related recommendation product, right? So everything happens very smoothly and product is very mature. And yeah, we will discuss everything in more detail furthermore. So now we can move to case studies. Michael, if you can share about the case study of particularly yours, so that would be great. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this might be a good time. We'll go through these couple of slides, and then I can share my screen and show you guys some real world implementation of it. Um, so I work for a rug manufacturer. We are the United States arm of one of, if not the largest manufacturer of handmade rugs coming out of India. And we, the problem that we face, which I think a lot of retailers are facing now, is just the complexity of surfacing relevant recommendations to the customer when we have a very large product catalog. And, especially, I think like one of the main complexities for us when it comes to uh, search filtering, product discovery, product recommendations is that a lot of, you can see on this slide and even more so on the next slide, a lot of the rugs, they may look a little bit similar. I'm not a rug expert by any means. We have some people that have been in the business for 30, 40 years that could tell you exactly what every single style is, exactly what every single stitch is, what every pattern means. that's not me. I'm coming at it from a much more like broad consumer standpoint. And so, really, the visual similarity is something that's really key for us to be able to utilize Adobe Sensei AI to analyze each of our product images pixel by pixel and be able to surface recommendations of rugs that actually look very similar. Um, and again, the because this is based on Adobe Catalog services, the results that we're providing to the customer are instant. They can be changed instantly, and there's no reindex, no cache flush needed, anything like that. So it just gives us a lot of flexibility and really ability to be nimble with our merchandising. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, fantastic. So this kind of gets a little bit further into the use case and the real problem here. You can see on this kind of screen grab of our PLP a number of different rugs, excuse me, and a lot of them look very similar. Um, when we are we do have a whole team of like product specialists. We have a whole PD team that helps create these rugs. They help us attribute these rugs. We've got it's like a big project every time we do a product launch to you know, try and get all of the style, pattern, all of the hard attributes are easy, material, size, all of that stuff. But when we're looking at style and pattern, something that is traditional or contemporary to Manav or to Daniela or Gabby might be, completely different to me. Like those things can be very subjective, mean different things to different people. Some of our rug experts that are here can tell you exactly what a killam pattern is, exactly what, I mean, they can tell you like what traditional tribe each pattern comes from. But our typical consumer is just like, hey, I want a rug that looks like that rug. We also, especially with all of the issues today with just inventory supply springing from tariffs that came up, and this is like industry wide. We have tariffs going from like 25 to 50% in the last 6 months. Basically, all of our manufacturers were like, "Hey, we're pausing, everything." Shipments were like held off. We had to go back and work with everybody to say like, "Hey, no, business as usual. Like we got to get the product." But anyway, we were experiencing a lot of frustration from our customers because they would go through that discovery process, find the rug that they like, and God forbid they find one that's out of stock. So that's a big use case for us. Is we need to be able to, in that experience, show another rug that is right there, looks just like it in case that one is out of stock. And this the product recommendations allows us to do that on our PDPs immediately and provide very, very relevant results. And Daniela, do you mind if I share my screen?
Of course.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys really quick just an example of our PDP. This is an older rug. It doesn't have very many images associated with it, so this isn't the best example. But you can see like this is a very good example of visual similarity. From our product here, you can see that the provided recommendations are matching that very, very closely, which is great. We go to another example here. This is one of our newer rugs, much better built out PLP or PDP. And you can see also here, it's not only, I think with this rug, you're really seeing a lot of these like geometric similarities, striped patterns, very similar colorways. With this one, we're really seeing this kind of like it's I'm not really sure what shape that is, like kind of a hexagon diamond kind of shape. and a traditional pattern, you can see that that's repeated across all of these rugs here very well. This last one, maybe not so much on the pattern, but it's matching the colors pretty well. So that really just illustrates the use case there. And I wanted to showcase just really quick how we set those up. And we'll go through creating a new one a little bit more in depth towards the end here. Or if there's any specific questions, we can definitely do that. But just wanted to show you guys for the on our product detail page, you can see we have these different categories of recommendation types. Personalized is going to be recently viewed. We actually have a recently viewed on the page already, so we're not using that one for this. The ones that we're really looking at here, you could definitely do trending, most purchased, most viewed. I would typically steer you to use these on landing pages or your home page where the customer is not really dialed in and already done the product discovery. On the PDP, I would definitely recommend sticking with these cross sells. You could do an upsell for if people viewed this, bought that, bought this, bought that. If you had corresponding items, we are going to be experimenting with some of that for our decor. Specific pillows maybe or poofs that match certain rugs. That is on our roadmap to test. But what we're looking at here is more like this or visual similarity. So the ones that I showed you guys here, these are based on visual similarity. And that again is our first slide that Manav spoke about of actually analyzing each of these images pixel by pixel and going through and providing images that are very, very similar visually. We can also do more like this. This is more. It's more like the traditional rule-based merchandising of the cross sells and upsells that practitioners that have been on the platform may be familiar with. Where we used to have rules that said, start with display rugs that have similar style, similar pattern, similar construction, and then kind of go down from there. Maybe if we don't have any matches there, maybe we match similar style and color. And then if we don't have any matches there, maybe we match, just color, or maybe we match collection. So more like this is going to be based on your actual product attribution. And, there are definitely use cases where this would be a better fit if you need to provide specific recommendations, specific category assignments, very specific attributes that you have and are tagged well within your product catalog. More like this may be more appropriate. But for our use case, the visual similarity definitely meets the need on the PDP way better than anything else. And I did want to call out for anyone that is working on adding visual similarity. I mentioned this in the webinar last week, but there is a process. You can see so this is, pop-up here explains it pretty well. Some machine learning models must be trained over time with sufficient data, and the readiness indicates when a model can provide a sufficient number and variety of products for a chosen recommendation type. So if you are new to product recommendations and you want to use visual similarity, I would suggest going ahead, setting up a product recommendation. You don't have to enable it now, but just get it started, because it's not going to analyze your product catalog for visual similarity until you actually set one of these up. Mine has actually been running for quite some time, and it's still at 72% ready. Again, we're already seeing like really relevant results here, and that's only going to get better over time. And that is one of the also great things about the Adobe Sensei AI and these product recommendations is it's constantly learning. It's constantly learning based on your product catalog, user behavior on the site. So the more time you have these recommendations running, trending products recommended for you are actually, you can tailor products to the specific user and the specific user's shopping behavior on the site. And that's only going to improve the more time they spend on the site. So it is basically putting a cookie in their local storage that is saying, here's this user, and then is able to track their behavior. And you can actually, you can visually test this once you set it up on your instance. The simple test that I did was cleared my cache, went onto the site as a non-logged in user, and I went to our blue rugs page and filtered for hand knotted rugs. And I just looked at a whole bunch of like different blue rugs that were hand knotted. And, 10 minutes later, after doing a little bit of, imagined product discovery for a blue rug, I went back to the homepage, hit refresh, and the product recommendations block was all blue hand knotted rugs. So it really is that fast. It really is that easy. And, I do want to really call out the ease of use here. I will show you guys an example of just how easy it is to update these product recommendations and how quick it is. And I think that'll be a really good demonstration. And then we can get into a little bit further detail on just the setup and questions. So I do want to shout out, I am very blessed to have a fantastic development team that works with us here at JPer Living. Shout out Vinay Verma on the call. He's one of our awesome developers. They help us do all the front end, back end stuff, any new features, new functionality that needs to happen. We're really blessed to have a great team that is able to do that. However, I know that not everyone has that. And also, there are time differences. Our team is in India. So they're typically stopping their workday around noon. That's like 10 at night for them. So we're grateful for them for staying even that late. But if we need to make a change to a product recommendation in the afternoon, or just, really these product recommendations, it's something you want your merchandising team to be able to have control over and not have to go to a developer to do that. And that's one of the real benefits here. So I'm going to jump over to our homepage. And this is, you can see, this is our staging site. We have not launched this on the homepage yet, but I've gotten approval to do a 6-week test, which we're starting in like a week and a half. So I'm really excited to bring this out and be able to really show some numbers to our team of how much more effective these product recommendations are than our previous block of curated recommendations, which these are kind of handpicked by our merchandising team and some of our marketing leadership of items that we really want to feature. But so I'm really excited to put these up and say, that's great, and we love showcasing all the products that we really want to see. But the real important thing is the customer and the end user, and we want to be showcasing products that they actually want to buy, that are trending now, that are going to have much more ability to convert. And before I go and actually make a change, so what we're going to do, you can see we have some nice rugs that are trending here. But I have this chrome hanger. This chrome hanger is like, it's like $2, and it is it's a showroom accessory that we sell to a lot of our retail partners. So it is one of our most sold items, but obviously this is not an item that we want to surface on the homepage as a recommended item. So we're going to take that off and only showcase rugs. And I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to make that change. Before I do that, though, I did want to just show on my previous comment about wanting to prove the ROI and how these are working. We mentioned this in the webinar last week. I just wanted to go over again. You do, for each of the recommendations that you set up, once they're live, you'll start to get actual analytics data populating right here in the configuration screen. So it's really easy to say, hey, this is really working. Here's the lifetime revenue. Here's the click-through rate, and really be able to make a case for pushing these up. And you can also do A/B tests very easily with using the recommendations within CMS blocks. You can then put those in a dynamic block rotator widget, have those change based on customer segment or just a straight A/B test. And then you could compare, for example, PDP more like this to PDP visual similarity. If you did a traffic split 50-50, you can very easily see which one is winning and then push that up as your your winner to go through. So again, going back to our homepage, I have not done anything to this page. I'll refresh it just so you guys can see it. Chrome Hanger is still there, and we're going to make a quick change to that and get that out of there. So this recommendation is our CMS because it's in a CMS block 6X homepage trending products. And you can see that we have this set up as 6 products, but we don't have any inclusions. We only have 1 exclusion. So we're going to edit that. And just really simply, we can see the exclusion that we have in place is we have some, this is a typical exclusion that I will do for all of our recommendations. We don't want to show any vintage rugs because we have very limited stock on those and they sell out very quickly. Same with our Manchaha rugs. Rug pads, we do in our upsell on each of our PDPs and in the cart, so we don't want to showcase that on the homepage. And then custom size and color rugs is kind of a separate experience, as well as ring sets. Those are kind of just small rug samples that's a specific retailer use. But to really dial this in, what we're going to do is we are going to include, and you can see here we have rugs, and that should do that. It should actually, I don't know why this category or this Chrome hanger is showing up in our rugs, but what we can do is all right. I was going to say we could do our rack accessories category. It seems like that is not set up here. So we can dial down even further, and we should be able to exclude that by the specific product. I don't know why that's not working. Let's see. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, and we can see over here on the right side, our recommendation example has now updated. So I'm going to save this change. You can see this nice green success message change to the HP trending module has been made. We're going to go back to our home page. I'll do a refresh, and we'll give it just a second. There we go. It's gone. So it's just that quick. That was a live demo. There was no cache refresh, no reindex, nothing required, and instantly you've changed that recommendation on your homepage. So I will stop sharing now. We can go back to the deck, but I just wanted to showcase again how quick and easy it is, and how practitioners, merchandisers can really get in there and be hands-on with these, and very quickly not only get results, but showcase and make the case for ROI of the recommendations.
That was a really great walkthrough, I would say, Michael. And like from how you started about similar products, and you saw the actual how you can manage the trending product and exclude the trending product. I feel like at this stage we can start moving to the like installation part, and we can just give this small walkthrough uh, about how someone can install it or have it in their system if they don't have it so far. And if someone have any questions, please feel free to ask at this point. This is the time, and we are all here to help you with your e-commerce problems. Yeah, I guess otherwise we can take a minute and to give a walkthrough, Danila. Please speak up if you have any questions from any of the attendees. If you want to talk openly about your experience with Adobe Sensei, your product recommendation, we are here to uh, add values into your existing systems. So if you are not using product recommendation and want to start with that, definitely you can reach out to us and we can help you to get set it up and get your platform ready for the Adobe Sensei. And the coming up, like we have already discussed a lot about how customers are behaving, and end of the day it will increase your AOV and like ROI for the solution. To have Adobe Sensei at this stage would be a great add-on to your existing capabilities. As Gabby said, that all questions are welcome. Feel free to post in the chat or unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, Manav, do you want to go through real quick while we're waiting? Just the basic requirements. So it does require Adobe Catalog
Yeah.
Services set up, and then there is basically just an extension that you need to install. So if you're already on Live Search, if you're already using Catalog Services for merchandising, all you need is the extension, and you're ready to go. We have a question from Rupak on tier pricing in Adobe Sensei. Is it compatible now? Manav, do you have insights on that?
So
Yeah, pricing can be a little tricky.
yeah.
We have some issues with that and trying to filter based on tier pricing. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
So could be possible that Rupak, in your case, you must be using, if it is tier pricing, you must be using catalog service, or which service you use in Adobe Sensei. If you can share us more about that, like, do you have created a separate catalog for separate customer experiences, or how do you have that in your system currently? Actually, catalog service provide it handles the tier pricing very well. Okay, it has the capability to handle multiple catalog and divide the catalogs for the like customer groups and the experiences. Okay, and if you specifically talking about the product recommendation when you are signing your catalog and have the tier pricing, if you can be more specific at this point, is there is a way of heroing products when using thing for most added to cart setup. So is there is a way of heroing products when using things like most added to cart setup. So we can definitely add create the custom recommendations, okay, into the existing recommendation. uh, the most upsells and cross sells get built by themselves, okay, but others we can definitely edit and add our custom products, and we can restrict, like include and exclude. There is a particularly feature inside uh, the Adobe product recommendation. So with the use of that, we can definitely do that. Okay. So we do have like we have presented that in detail in our like previous slide also, like webinar also. So if you might check the recording, Mark, you may get the more idea.
Yeah, and Mark, I can add. You can include only specific products. If you had a group of maybe 5 or 6 products that you want to show there, you could include a specific category. So you could also create, if there's a hero products category, you could even create a category in the back end that isn't visible as a PLP on the front end and only show those items. So if you have like a specific hero selection that you want to pull from, there's a couple different ways that you can do that.
Yeah. So Rupak, with use of shared catalog, we can definitely achieve this tier pricing related requirements. I have generally did for the B2B customers, which are using catalog service also, and on top of that, I use the shared catalog to have the tier pricing related capabilities into B2B store. So definitely that is working these days. Yeah, we are looking for more questions if there is anything.
If I can add something, if there's no any more questions, there's now a new feature in Bevy that's called discussions. So please feel free to go into the discussions feature, post any questions, any thoughts you had about this webinar, about the amazing office hours our champions gave, and you'll get responses from everyone else in the community as well as our speakers. So please feel free to check that out. And we have 2 more questions, I believe.
So, the questions for Yesa, I have worked with the 2.5 million SKUs in the catalog service, okay, and more than 100 plus catalog variants we can create. So that is there. You can definitely check that out in the official doc about limit and boundaries for particular requirement which you are dealing with, okay. And sometimes it also depends on the payload of your product is having, okay. So yeah.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any limitations on customer number of customers or anything, and pricing tiers are supported as Manav just mentioned. I did want to mention again, we are able to do using by placing the recommendations in CMS blocks and then using dynamic block rotators and segmentation, we are able to showcase different, for example, different recommendations to different customer groups. That's one thing we're working on testing is showing a different set of products to interior designers versus retailers based on what they sell most. And that will be accomplished with setting up different customer segments and then displaying those different content blocks to each customer, along with a customized homepage hero image, and then the recommendations right below. So lots of good use cases and flexibility there. Yeah, did that answer your question, Yesha? I'm not sure if that was exactly what you're looking for.
One of the client has B2B contract price, okay. So this is something specific to case, okay. Yeah, if you can unmute and ask definitely about the case and like how it is, also want to understand that how it is related to catalog service or product recommendations or like anything which we are discussing. Let me see how to unmute you here.
I will unmute you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I believe
Yes.
you want to mute.
Okay, thank you for unmuting. So kind of, I do have one of the requirement, and client was asking that what is the baseline that Adobe can support in terms of the for specific to the B2B for the contract pricing that they provided, the baseline they provided, and I was asking that does Adobe can support it with the multiple B2B stores on the single instance.
Okay, so that is something product specific. Like whether you are using a pro or starter or something like, has you got
That's
any
a
input
pro.
from your?
That's a
That's the
pro.
pro. Okay, yeah. I feel like I need to check with the some of the like what is the latest on this. Okay, I will check with the like internally some of with my some of the customers and like with the Adobe experts out there. What is the latest on the? But the question is good, right? The contract price, what is the highest contract price, right? For B
I
two B.
mean that many pricing they do currently have in their existing B2B sites that
Okay,
they want to migrate over, but we are checking the what would be the like baseline that Adobe can handle. So
okay.
that is the
So
one thing, and on top of the same kind of for the uh, customer accounts. So I think 7,700 customer account they do have.
okay, 7,700. And the currently the store is in Adobe Commerce itself, or
No, it is on different
okay.
platform that they want to migrate over. But we are just, I'm just looking at the proposal review, and still it's
Sounds good.
kind of analysis phase.
Yeah. So can you, in this engagement, there is a DM facility. So can you DM me both of the numbers and exit thing so I can get back to you? Okay. In somewhere in like in the same platform or whether in the LinkedIn, I'll update you, and we will definitely see how you can plan your proposal for
Okay,
Adobe Commerce B2B. Yeah.
okay, cool. And
Yeah.
is there another way that do we have the kind of B2B demo store that we can utilize for the
So I would say, yes, sir. On like 27th, we are having one of the like webinar related to B2B. Okay, so I'll be sharing the link of that webinar. If you attend that, you can get the more value. Okay, that will bring the about the features and use cases and like operational values. So I'm confident that Adobe Commerce is like there is no competition that much for the B2B in the enterprise world to Adobe Commerce because it is that capable and extensible compared to other products out there. Okay, so I work with a lot of B2B customers and like they are having a huge catalog, okay, and huge price variance also. But what I am seeing in your case, it is a specifically very huge number, right? So I need to check with them and get back to you, and till that let me share some B2B related content if I may find with you. Okay.
yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. So if there's no more any more questions, I just want to finish with all letting you know that please be sure to register for a skill exchange. This will happen during summit. It will be two amazing sessions led by two amazing champions. They're also part of the class of Manav and Michael. So please make sure to register and please be sure to join the Office Hour Champion Program chapter within the e-commerce user group so you can keep having these insights and great conversations with our amazing champions.
That's great, Daniela. And also, people who are like attending virtually, they can register and get the other sessions on demand post the summit is over, right? So that's a great thing that summits bring a lot of value to the enterprise customers and agencies. Uh, like there are a lot of AI related innovations and there are a lot of related innovations are happening. Uh, we are all working towards the how we can increase the like personalized experience and bring the measurable ROI for the customers and agencies. So a lot of good things are coming, and I would also highly recommend everyone to register for the virtual one. Yeah. Meanwhile, we can wait for 2 more minutes and let's say if there is any questions and utilize the full time now.
The links for the Skill Exchange events are pinned in the chat, so feel free to click and learn more about the speakers and what will be discussed.
Also, if you're going to Summit in person, please make sure to come and say hi to Manav, Michael, Gabby, and myself. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah. So I feel like that was a great engagement, and we are good to go.
I think so. Thank you
Is
so
there
much.
any questions? Or yeah, I see some message in chat.
It's just thank you for a really insightful and great
Yeah.
session.
Thank you for being the attendees and being a great attendee here. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manav and Michael. You guys are incredible.
Thank you.
Love you.